Chances are that you have already found a solution that works in an order of n time complexity. And now you're struggling to find a solution that is space efficient as well. I am talking about the problem move zeros on LeetCode. This is one of the classic problems where you realize that to enhance your problem solving skills and to become a better developer, you need to think about space efficient solutions as well. I will show you step by step how you can approach this problem. And trust me, you will be surprised yourselves how simple the solution is. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, a place where we explore the life of technology and make programming fun and easy to learn. First, I will explain you the problem statement and we will see some sample test cases. Next, we will look at the most straightforward approach that you can solve this problem. And then we will try to optimize it. We will find an efficient solution to the problem and then also do a dry run of the code so that you understand how all of this works. This way, it will stick in your mind forever. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let us first try to make sure that we are understanding the problem statement correctly. You are given an array of integers and you have to move all the zeros to the end while maintaining the relative order of the other elements. Now, what does that mean? Let us try to understand it with a sample test case. So, you are given an array of integers and you have to move all the zeros to the end. So, you can see that this array has two zeros, right? When you are moving these zeros to the end, that means that I am moving both of these zeros over here. But there is an additional part to the problem. You have to maintain the relative order of all the other elements. The relative order means that in the final array, these elements should appear in the same order. That means 1 should come first, then 3, and then 12. So for test case number 1, this would be your answer. You can see that all the zeros have moved to the end and the relative order of the remaining elements remains the same. Similarly, look at test case number 2. You have a smaller array with these three elements. To write the answer for this, first of all move both the zeros to the end and then you only have one element remaining, right? So you can just write it down over here. So for this test case, this will be your answer. Now, if the problem statement is clear to you, feel free to try it out on your own. Otherwise, let us see how we can approach this problem. So let's say I have this sample array in front of me. And once again, I need to segregate the zeros and all the other elements. What is the first thing that comes to your mind? What is the most straightforward way? One thing that could come in your mind is that, okay, I will separate all the zeros in a different array and all the elements in a different array, and then I can combine them, right? So how will you go about doing that? You will start from the beginning, you see a zero, and you will add it in your other array. If you see a number that is not zero, you add it in a different array. You see a 5, so you add 5 over here. Then you see a 0 again, so you add it over here. So this way, what will happen is your relative order remains the same and you have all the zeros over here. Now you can just combine both these arrays and you will get your final output, correct? Now, this is a time efficient method. That means that you are only taking up order of n time. But this method is not space efficient. You have to take extra space to store this array and then you have to take extra space to store this array. Hence, this is not a space efficient solution. We need to find a way that we can optimize the space that we are using. What can we do about it? You are really gonna be amazed how simple the solution is. So let us say I have this sample array and you have to separate all the non-zero numbers and the zeros, right? So think about it. You don't need to do anything about the zeros, right? You are only concerned about the relative order of the non-zero elements. So the most simple way to approach this problem will be that you start iterating from the beginning. And if you see a zero, just ignore it. But if you see any element that is not zero, for example, if you see element number 1, Just start moving every non-zero element to the beginning. So what I will do is, I will move this 1 at my index 0. So now my array becomes this, correct? Now move ahead. You see a 5. So now move this 5 to the next place. So this 5 will eventually come over here. And this is the current state of my array now. Keep moving ahead. You see a 0, so don't do anything. Next, you see a 12. So move this 12 to the next position that is available. This 12 will come over here. And this array now changes. Don't worry about the remaining elements. Just keep advancing through your array. Next, you see a 0. So don't do anything. Next, when you move ahead, you see number 9. And what you will do is, you will move 9 to the next available position in your array. So your array now looks like this. Okay, so now you have traversed the entire array, right? And what does this mean? This means that all the remaining elements should just be replaced with 0, right? So what I can simply do is, I can replace all these remaining elements with 0. And wow, you just arrived at the solution, right? All the zeros have moved towards the end, and you are still maintaining the relative order of the initial elements, and that too in place in the array itself. So this is a space efficient solution. You just took advantage of the fact that there is no relative order of zeros, right? You can add as many number of zeros as you like, but you just needed to maintain the relative order of the non-zero elements. Now, let us quickly see how you can do a dry run of the code. On the left side of your screen, you have the actual code to implement this solution. And on the right, I have a sample array, and we will try to perform our operations on this. This array is passed in as an input parameter to the function move zeros. Oh, and by the way, this complete code and the test cases are also available in my GitHub profile. You can find the link in the description below. So starting ahead, what do we do? We start with the first position, and that is the first place that you have to insert an element, right? So the insert position is 0 right now. Next, what we do is we start a for loop, and we will fill all the non-zero numbers. So what we do in this for loop is we start from 0 and go all the way towards the end, and we fill all the non-zero numbers. That means as soon as we find 1, what we will do is we will insert it at the insert position. So eventually this 1 will go over here. Then 3 will go at the next position, and 12 will go at the next position. What we do is, for any number that is non-zero, we insert the number at the correct place and then increment the insert position counter. So after one iteration, the insert position will change to 1 and then ultimately 2, because you will have inserted 1 over here, then 3 over here, and then 12 over here, right? So you have maintained the relative order. The next part is just filling out the remaining zeros. And that is what we exactly do in the next while loop. We start from the insert position and go all the way up to the end. And we will just add a 0 over there. So when this while loop runs, I will add a 0 at the next position and 0 at the very end. So you see, we have arrived at our answer. The time complexity of this solution is order of n. That is because we iterate through the array only once. And the space complexity of this solution is order of 1. That is because we do not take any extra space to arrive at a solution. I hope I was able to simplify the problem and its solution for you. As per my final thoughts, take a moment and look back at the solution we just came up with. Most likely, when you read this problem, you might be thinking about swapping elements, taking an additional array, storing these elements somewhere, right? But when you look at the solution, you will realize that it was so easy to solve, right? That is why it is always a good idea to draft out some sample test cases and work them out yourself. Come up with every idea that you can think of. Sometimes, even the most stupid idea can lead you to an efficient solution. What other methods did you try to solve this problem? What innovative ways did you come up with? Did you face any problems? Tell me everything in the comment section below, and I would love to discuss all of them with you. You would be also glad to know that a text-based explanation to this content is available on the website studyalgorithms.com, a pretty handy website to help you out with your programming needs. You can find the link in the description below. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This motivates me to make more and more such videos where I can simplify programming for you. Also, let me know what problem do you want me to solve next, or rather, what do you want to learn next. Until then, see ya.